Hello everyone, please confirm if I'm audible. Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone in this particular session. So this session is particularly for the coding doubts and how you have to actually code. There are so many myths regarding the coding that we should know this much, we should know that much in order to make the coding happen. So there are so many doubts. So first of all, I will tell you, please don't listen to these kinds of doubts. What you have to do, you have to understand a problem. And once you understand a particular problem, then you have to find a solution without thinking of any programming language. You have to think on your own that if you are given this particular type of problem in your daily routine, what you would have done. So this kind of thing you have to develop first. Okay, what you need to do, you need to develop that kind of attitude in yourself that whenever the question will come, you will not get in fear. You will be in a position that you will start thinking of a solution. Okay, so this is the first step to solve any particular question. Now, from where to start? So what I'll be telling you, there are two ways how you can start. At the end of the day, you have to write code in your exam, which is from the scratch. You have to write the code from the scratch. Okay, but if you will start writing the code from the scratch, it will be little bit difficult because then the entire responsibility will be on you to actually happen that code compile and run and execute in a fashion which is actually in the need. So what you need to do, you need to first start with a level where you only have to write a particular function. Okay, you only have to write a function. If for all those who are new to the programming language and how they are going to start. So for all those people, what you have to do, you have to find questions online or like anywhere wherever you are comfortable. You even on your ID, what you have to do, you have to focus on the main solution of the problem. Okay, do not focus on how to write main, how to happen, like how to let that function calling happen and everything. What you need to do, you need to figure out the solution first. Once you start solving 5 to 10 questions of these kinds, you will be able to understand that okay, your logic is being strong now. So now you can start writing the code from the very scratch. Okay, so first what we are going to do in this particular session, I'll be taking one question, and this particular question is for all those who are actually like a toddler in the algorithms or into the programming, or they have little knowledge, or and also for those who have everything. Okay, like people who are coding from a long time. What you need to do, the type of solution will be different, but anyhow, uh, the solution will be given to you and you will take a call at which level you are standing and what you have to write. In this particular question, I am taking the example for algorithm question and focus on this question. What is this question? So there is a use case, and these kinds of question will come in your SEBI exam as well. So this particular question is saying what? You are a product manager and currently leading a team to develop new product. Okay, this question is from Geek for Greek. Okay, and this particular, it is not from Geek, it is from the lead code, sorry. This question is from the lead code, and there you can find these kinds of question in under the algorithm chapter. It is under the easy question. Okay, so I will be providing the solution as well, by which you will be able to pass all the test cases, even if you write the same code in the lead code ID. What you need to do, first read the question. I will give you all 3 to 4 minutes to read the question. First read the question, and please let me know once you are done with reading and understanding like the entire question. Please do let me know once you are done with the reading. Good. Okay. So now I'll just briefly explain the question. The question is saying that you are a product manager of a company and there is a story behind it. What is the main thing? That you are delivering the software, and software, as you know, is delivered in some version 1, then version 2, version 3, and version 4, and so on. And if there is any particular version, let's say 4, all the versions prior to have will be incorporated in that version, and some amendments or new, what you can say, requirements are developed in that particular software function, and then it is delivered. So this manner, the software is being pushed into the market. Now, what this particular problem is saying, that if you have n versions of your software and any one of the version is bad, means it is having some bugs which is not suitable to deploy in the market. So what will happen? After that particular version, every version which is built on that version will get bad, will not be good enough to replicate, will not be good enough to take for the further development. What you need to do, you need to go back where your version was like good, and then you have to start making, like undoing the changes. You have to undo all the changes, and then you have to do. Okay, so this particular question is saying that you are given an API which is like is a bad version, and in the parameters it is version which is given to you. So whenever you are going to call is a bad version, it will tell you which version is bad. Like if I ask you bool is true and false. In a similar manner, this particular function which is implemented by the this particular function is implemented, you do not have to implement this function here. What you need to do, you need to find which particular version is bad. Okay, and after that every version will be bad, so you have to find which version is bad. Okay, so like if you have n output as n is equals to 5 and the bad thing is n, so you have to figure out which particular which is the bad output, and this particular bad thing is not given to you. You never know that the bad was 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. You have to call is bad version, so that it will tell you which version is bad actually. Okay, and you have to reduce the number of calls that you make to this API is bad version. Now you have to solve this function. Okay, so can I have some ideas, like how we are going to approach? Any ideas? Anyone, if they want to unmute themselves and want to speak, or if they want to write on chat, and anything will work. I just want solution from you. If this is a thing, how you are going to approach?
Ma'am, can we use your if else loop here?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Can we use if else loop?
Yeah, you can use loop. Like in, okay, you can use loop. And then what you will do inside that loop? What is the logic basically? It is very easy question, guys. Don't give this question so much weight depending upon the length of the question. It is very easy question. Think in a very naive manner. You just have to write a function, implement a function to find first bad version, and you have to minimize the number of calls to the API. Creating an array to store. So the array is already created. Yeah, okay, if you are going to write it from the scratch, restore the version of the product, and then calling the function. If it returns true, we print and the following bad if that particular function return true. Okay, so this is a very easy question, something near about you have to do the same. So what in this particular question you have to do, you do not have to write the code from the scratch, as I already told you. You just have to implement that function in which you are going to find the first bad version. So here it will be a class, and inside that particular class you are allowed to write this piece of code, which is like this. You have to write this piece of code here. Yeah. So you have to write this much. This logic you have to do. So you can see here, I have made only one call to the bad function, is bad function, and I have implemented the thing, and every kind of input, whether it is having any size, will be implemented here. So you know that the first bad version, you have to take the size of the array in which the versions are stored. Okay, then you have to make a local variable because you are going to manipulate with this local variable. So better to have whichever is there in the parameter, better to have a local variable and store in those local variable and then manipulate accordingly. Then I have taken one variable called as bad and I have initialized it to 1. Okay, what I am doing here, while is bad version is bad. So bad version is going to return me true. If it is a bad version, it is going to return me true, right? So what I'm doing, if the bad version is returning me false, then I'm going to look again, like I have, let's say 5 versions, okay, and the 4th version is infected, or let's say bad. So if the first version is not infected, I will call is bad version, it will return me false. Okay, so I have to just negate the logic in order to make this while loop happening. And at the same time, I'm checking whichever index. So bad is here actually for the references, for the index, in which index I am currently. The bad should be less than n, because I cannot go beyond the number of what you can say, number of versions that I'm having, and then I'm doing the bad plus plus. Okay, so you can take any variable which suits you. So now what will happen is bad version bad, if it is false, and these two condition holds true simultaneously, I'm doing bad plus plus, and I keep on doing that thing till the time is bad version return me false. Once it return me true, so it will all the things will be false, because true is in negation is false. So I will get false, and my body of the while, that is bad plus plus, will not execute. So I will get to know that this particular version is the version which is infected. So I will return bad, and this will be my logic. I am like bad is an integer and returning the integer. So try to think as short as possible. Here I haven't created any array. I'm not taking anything. I'm just trying to utilize the minimum input which has been there. So you can see this particular thing is time efficient. This particular thing is space efficient. So you will be able, and the logic is so small, can be written. So try to have like what you learn from this particular solution. You learn first thing that whatever is there in the parameters, try to hold them in the local parameters. Okay, so that you can manipulate with them easily. After that thing, whenever you are taking any loop, and in that particular loop, try to implement the logic in the loop statement only, not in the body, in the loop parameters only, as much you can do. Okay, so try to have the logic in the body, not body, in the parameters of the loop only, if you can. So try about this thing. So your code will look neat, your code will be very fast, it will be time efficient, and also when you are going to debug, it will be very easy for you to debug the same time. Okay, so this particular reference was from lead code, so the answer to this particular question is not provided. So what you all can do, you can find this question on lead code, and then what you can do, you can just type this particular solution on the lead code ID, and you will see this particular question gives you 99.19% efficiency in terms of time and the space complexity. So for all those people who are starting from the very scratch level, they have to start exercising these kinds of things. What will happen when they start doing these things? They will building their logic. Once you build up your logic, you will be feeling confident about your skills. And once you're confident, then writing the driver code is not that tough. Okay, once you understand the flow, how the things are going, you will be able to do that thing. So initially, it will not be a burden on you to write the entire code, but yes, you can do this thing for 1 week, and after 1 week, you have to start writing the code from the scratch. So let's take one code from the scratch. This particular question, part 1 of this question, I have discussed in one of the YouTube video, which is live today only in the morning. So for the solution of this particular point number 1, you can watch the recording, which is there on the YouTube platform. I will talk about the second thing. This particular second solution will also come live on YouTube in 1 or 2 days. Till the time, you just have to, like I'm giving you the pre-solution. So once you watch this solution, if you want to have this solution after this particular session, you can get that from YouTube as well. We'll be making that live tomorrow. I can see one. Did you use linear search to find the? We have, it is not like a linear search operation. You can name it like linear search. If you want to name it, you can name it, but it is as like a normal. It is very normal. I'm just going and I am just calling that function. I'm just checking it out, whether it is true or false. So yes, you can say that it is a linear search, no problem. Do not implement anything else. If you will implement binary search, definitely the time complexity will increase. In this particular code, the time complexity is to the lowest. Okay. Yes. So this particular question, what this particular question says, I'll explain in detail about this question. So you have stocks. You know SEBI deals in stocks. It is not dealing in stock, but it is the regulatory body. So it regulates NSE and BSE, which are actually the stock exchange of the country. So this is somehow relatable to that question only. What this particular question is saying, suppose I have a stock of, let's say, ixamBee. ixamBee deployed their IPO in the market, and there is one stock of ixamBee, and there are rates. Like till now, what is the ideal situation? On the day on which the market is opening, you get to know which particular rate or the price of the stock is there in the market on that day only. In this question, we are assuming that we have 5 days in our, let's say 5 or n number of days. We know n number of days prices of the stock. That let's say from Monday to Friday, what will be the prices of the stock? On Monday, it will be, let's say 100, then 180, then 250, then 360, then 490, and then let's say 55. We know the prices of the stock for one day, and like not one day, for the entire n days. And this n is variable. Okay, what we have to do, looking at the stock prices, once I give you a stock price list, so you will be able to, like, I'll type something here if I'm allowed to. Yes, I'm allowed to. Let's say the stock prices are like 100, 200, 300, 24. 24 will be bad. Let's pick it as 99. Then let's say 120. Okay, so let's say these are the 5 days for which the stock prices are known to you. Now, what is my question to you is, like, find all the days on which you are going to buy and sell the stocks, so that in between those days your profit is maximum. What you need to do as a broker, what you will be doing, if I am the broker and I have to buy and sell these stocks, what I will be doing, I'll be simply write, one second, let me complete, then I will answer your problem, Halima. What I'm going to do, I'm going to buy the stock on day 1, that is 100. I will check that, okay, next date is 200. I am having 100 profit, but on the third day I'm having 300. So better if I purchase on day 1 and I sell it on day 3. So I will get 200 as the profit, right? Now, if I sell it on 4th day, I will having a loss of 1 rupee. So I will not be doing that. I will be purchasing on day 1. I will be selling on day 3. And then again, I'll be purchasing again. Will be buying again on day 4 at 99 and then selling on day 5. That is 120. So I'll be having 21 rupees extra in my bucket. Okay. So overall profit will be 200 and 221. So in point number 1, you have to calculate that maximum profit and you have to return the number, that is 221 here. But in point number 2, you have to return which days you have purchased, on which days you have sold. Okay, the day of buying and the day of selling of the product, of the share. This thing you have to output. For this particular question, if I have to talk about the output will something look like 1,3 and 4,5. Okay, so this kind of output, there can be more than one solution to the problem. Okay, so this thing, and these should be intermittent. Okay, you cannot say that I will be buying on day 1, in between I'm having loss, I will bear the loss. And let's say future prices, let's say if I tell you here, like, let's say 1,000. So if you buy on 100 and sell it on 1,000, you are having a huge profit in comparison to buying it on 100 and selling it on 300. So you will say, oh, no, ma'am, I will be doing that thing. What is the constraint here? You do not have to go into losses at any point of time. Once you are having any single rupee loss, you have to just sell the price just prior to that day. Okay, so that you do not incur any loss. You have to maximize your profit. Okay. Now, just tell me what kind of solution you guys can think of, think for this question, and till the time I will answer you, Halima. So previous problem answer in Python. So Halima, for loops are anyhow applied there. So even if you will write this particular piece of code there, it will be having normal thing, not this thing. But if you will write this much, it will work on Python as well. There is nothing which I have used specifically for C++ or Java. It will work in both the versions. So it is very naive. Okay, if you want to have it, you can use. With the help of two loops, we can get the maximum profit. Tell me the logic. Don't tell me what you are going to use. You are going to use heap or tree or whatever. I'm not interested in that. First, enhance your problem solving ability. You should be able to think of, see, this is the problem. Once the coding question come to us, we start thinking of what we are going to use, how we are going to implement before thinking of the solution. First, think of the solution. How, let me take a pen and paper, try to solve the problem that ye aise karenge, wo aise karenge, we'll do this way, we'll do that way. Once you have the solution, it will be easy for you to translate into your whichever language you are coding. So it is an easy path, and this will come with the practice. So first try to find the solution, and then try to use take help of the tools. It is loop, or it is a switch statement, or if it is a conditional statement, it is any enhanced data structure, whatever it is. Then think of something like that. But before that, try to think only for the solution. Tell me the logic. Compare every number with all other numbers ahead to find the difference. Okay, you will be finding the difference until point at the number, which point will be there where you are going to stop. You are going to stop this comparison at what point? Suppose it is 100. I know that looking at this, I have to stop when I'm encountering 99. So I have to get a previous one. Okay. So how will I get to know that where I am going to stop? And you also cannot have any backdate transaction. You cannot have 99 at the buying price and selling it at 300. Backdate operations are not allowed. Comparing the profit difference, good. You definitely you have to compare the difference. You do not have to compare the numbers. You have to compare the difference. Now you are coming correctly. Good. And once you encounter that, okay, this is the maximum profit that I can get, then what you will be doing? Anyone else? If it will be greater the value, then the value will change. Yes, yes. Yes, so somehow similar kind of logic I have also done. So this will be easy for you to relate on. Okay, so what we are going to do here, this is the driver code, and in the driver code I have actually hard coded in order to make it happen, but you can just anyhow take it in the dynamic manner. You can create an array, ask the user how many number of days, the value of n you can take, and then you can do it accordingly. But for the logic, this is more than enough. Int stock of 7, I am taking the stocks in 7 days of stocks values, and I have inputted these values. Then I'm calling a function that is buy, sell, and stock is one of the parameter. Then the starting and then the ending, till what I have to till what time I have to go and iterate. So I will be just calling the function, and the main logic is here in the buy and sell. What is there in the buy and sell? You can see here I am just using the C++ annotation. Okay. So what you are going to do, this is the buy and sell logic. If you want to have this logic in other languages, you can have this. This logic will work even in Python, even in Java. You just have to not use C cow. You have to use sys.out.println for Java, and similarly different for print for the Python. Here and there syntax changes will be there, but at the end the logic will be same. So what it is having, I'm calculating the delta. I'm interested into the delta. Okay, Saurabh is given one solution. We pick the first price and then find the difference with every day. Stored in the maximum value. Also, the days will store in a variable continuity. Yeah, good. Same thing. Having the delta value. So now I have initialized one delta value to 0, and I'm calculating the previous delta. What I'm doing, I'm having one data in my hand, and I'm calculating the next data. So I have two deltas, previous delta and the new delta which I'm calculating. And depending upon that, I will take a call that I have to stick to new delta, or I have to update my previous delta value. What I have done here, in int delta equal to 0, pref delta I have taken from the start plus 1. The start is 0, so 0 minus 1, what is at index 1 will get subtracted from my start. Okay, but because I have taken the day 1 till I will fix this 1, that is 0, and I will go till I encounter the loss. Okay, I will be on a profitable side. So once I have initialized these two things, I will be taking a help of for loop, because I have to iterate. Whenever you have to do the similar operation, you have to use loops. You can use while loop here. You can use the for loop as well. You cannot use do while loop here. Okay, because that will be the case where one time it will be done. So ideally, you should not do that thing. Some of the test cases might fail. So for loop in start plus 1, I'm going to start with index 1, because at the start I am having 0. I'm holding the command over it. I'll go till end, less than 10, less than end, and then I a plus plus. Okay, this is the normal thing. If the prep data, which is the data that is stock start plus 1 minus stock start, if this delta is less than, like the previous delta is less than the delta which is coming in the future comparisons, what I'm going to do, I'm going to update my previous delta. Here I was having the profit of 100. Here I am having the profit of 200. So I have to update it. 100 minus 200 minus 100, 100. 300 minus 100, 200. So I have to update it with the stock I plus 1. Here I is 1. So I will be having I plus 1. That is 2 now. So stock, the value of the stock, which is at second index, and then the starting value, I will just calculate, I will assign it. And then I will increase my delta value to I plus 1. That because we have to initialize, like we have to go beyond it, because I have to return the indexes at the end. I have to return the indexes, right? On which day I am selling and buying. So which day I have started, which day I am selling. So I have to return that thing. For that particular purpose, I will keep my delta counter. Now, once this particular thing is being done, I will be having the day in which I'm going to like buy and sell. So buying day will be start plus 1, and selling will be because days are not in 0. Like you know that array will start from 0. But days are not starting from 0. That's why I am printing start plus 1. The value stored at index 0 is the day 1 value. So that's why I'm outputting the day. So I cannot output start only, because it will be day 0. It won't make sense to the end user. So I have to make it start plus 1, and similarly the delta plus 1. Once I am done with this, I will stop and I will call it recursively to my buy and sell, because I have iterated two sub problems. Now I have the remaining of the array to go ahead with. So I will call the same function, but here the starting will get changed, because 100, 200, 300, this much is done. 99 and 120 are remaining. So to start from 99, I have to do delta plus 1. The starting should be changed, ending will anyhow remain the same. So starting will get changed with the delta plus 1, and again the recursively the function will be called, and the things will be done. Okay, so by using this logic, you will be able to have your solution, and at the end you are going to return 0, because anyhow you are having this thing. Okay, so this is the logic how you can go ahead. You can, if you want to optimize this logic, you can also do that thing, but this logic will work for you, and many of the test cases will also get passed. Here I haven't checked for 2 conditions where the backdate operation is allowed or not, and for that thing you can take the help for from this particular thing, where the starting and ending these things. So backdate operations are not allowed, and this particular question has been discussed in one of the video. So you can take help from that video and can understand this logic which I have given to you for the calculation of the maximum profit. Okay. So this is the thing which I wanted to discuss in this short span of time. I hope you guys got an idea how you have to write code, and some of your fears might have been degraded. So was the class helpful? Like you got an idea how to, so in this short span of time, we solved 2 problems. In half an hour, we solved 2 problems, 15 minutes each. In the exam, we are having 3 hours for 5 questions. So the first question was of like more mark, like let's say 30. And the second one, which we discussed, if the half of the solution is provided to you, then it will be of 10 marker. Otherwise, it will also be 30 marker question. If you have to implement is bad version logic by yourself. Okay, so it will be again a good question. Yeah, so that was all from my side for the class, and you will be having more difficult questions. See, it will be moderate to difficult. Even in your 10 marker question, it will be something, if you get the logic, the question will be easy to you. But if you are stuck somewhere and you start doing the mistake again and again while attempting the question, then it will be very difficult. But again, the questions level will be moderate to difficult. There will be no easy question as such. Maybe one question may be easy, but overall the exam will be of moderate to difficult question. So as much you practice, as much you develop the programming solving ability, you will be able to help yourself in exam. So Shubham, you can practice from the lead code. These two questions are also from the lead code, but there you will not get solution. What you have to do, you have to, you will be given an ID there if you enroll in their website. If you want the solution, you have to subscribe them, and then you have to pay a fees to them as well in dollars, something like I do not know what is the price, but in dollars this is something. Monthly and yearly subscriptions are there, so that is a different thing. So PPT will not be shared, Saurabh. What we'll be doing, the question number, that particular question which is dealing for the delta, I will be making a YouTube video on the same question. It will be live tomorrow, so you can take help from that question. But the question is bad version. What you can do, I just showed you on your screen. You can just take a screenshot in your mobile or on your thing, like laptop, whichever you have joined. You can just take a screenshot for the same. So for lead code, you can get the questions. So link is only if you type lead code in Google, you will find it. YouTube video will be live tomorrow, so you can have it and you can just check the same question. I'll be discussing the question again. So you do not need to go to the question again. What you need to do, you can just take a screenshot of that thing. So it will be there. GFG, I do not personally refer GFG. I will tell you GFG only for the thing where you are actually starting learning for some of the concepts. But for practicing, lead code is a better platform. Shubham. Okay, yes. So I think I answered your questions. So in lead code, you will not get solution. If you want solution, you have to pay to them. But anyhow, you will get an ID where you can code on. And in whichever language you want to code, it can be Python, C++, Java, it will be there. No, it won't be difficult, Halima, for you to crack. The only difficult part will be, it will appear difficult to you if you are not practicing enough. If you are practicing enough regularly, it will be very easy for you. There is a criteria to clear the test cases in the exam. You have to think for every particular problem corner that you have in your exam. So you have to think for bad inputs as well. Try to cover as many test cases you can think of. Like in this particular question, there is a operation which is backdate operation. So user should not be allowed to purchase on a future day and sell it on a back date. So that particular thing you have to restrain in your code. So these kinds of test cases will be there. Sanket. Paper 2 for phase 1, Shubham, you can take help from ixamBee. There are a mock test as well, and our course is also there. So if you are interested, you can just take help from that particular scenario. We are covering the entire course of phase 1 and phase 2. For phase 2, the similar kind of thing we do in our classes. We come up with the questions, we discuss the question, I provide the solution, and then people go and they practice at their room. Okay. So Halima, first you have to make sure that you are able to pass phase 1. So once you are able to finish off your phase 1 syllabus for both QRE, GA and this particular thing, like you are able to pass the cutoff, you can attempt mock test, you can analyze your performance. And then once you are done with your phase 1, then start doing phase 2. Because you are non-IT student, so that's why it will be a problem if you will directly jump to phase 2. First, you have to clear phase 1 in order to get to phase 2. So first finish off with phase 1, then go to phase 2. 5 test cases, how much you should be ordered to pass? So minimum 50%. So it will be 3 test cases out of 5 that you need to pass in order to get your question evaluated and offering marks. Yes, AP, it is 50%. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming for the session. And I hope it was helpful and insightful for you all so that you can get some practice question there. And okay, there is one extra question by Hanket. Ma'am, when we submit our compiler code in the exam, yeah, you will get Y against the code. How many, like if there are 5 test cases, so it will be like Y, 1Y4N, it means 1 test case is passed, 4 test cases are failed. If it will be 3Y2N, it will be 3 test cases passed, 2 test cases failed. ID will be same. Pariksha maybe, may not be. We cannot comment on it. Maybe they change. Maybe they might change. Hope they change. And if you want to go and feel how Pariksha actually look like, there is one video in our YouTube channel that is questions on Pariksha. You will get to know how actually the Pariksha is going to look like for all those who haven't given the exam of phase 2. Demo interface of Pariksha, you will have the access to it once you qualify phase 1, and the call letter I choose for phase 2. Prior to 1 week, you will be having, like if your exam is, let's say on 24th of September, you will be having the access to Pariksha at least 14th of September, from 14th of September. And if you want to just take a look how it is actually looking like and what all things are being there, how the question will be coming, how the input specification, output specification, and what will be the space, where you are going to code, you can take the help from the video which we have made on our YouTube channel. The name of the video is Questions in Pariksha, and you can just type that in YouTube and you will be having that particular video and you can watch that. For phase 1, paper 2, which language carry more weightage? So it is not about so much of language in phase 1, because all the 3 languages are there and they can ask from the concepts which they have listed in the syllabus. So any concept they can ask. Okay, so it is not only about one language, it is about the concepts. Moreover, in phase 1, you have to learn the concepts in all the 3 languages: C++, Java, and Python. Okay, guys, so I think questions are answered, and we have to run for the next session, so we do not have enough time. So see you all if we bring such kind of sessions again for you all, so that you can get in here. Okay, thank you, everyone.